What's up, Taiwan? Good morning. I'm Erika Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's legislature has passed an amendment that will pave the way for a new transitional justice office. The head of the Transitional Justice Commission, Chen Yufan, says it's a milestone in Taiwan's democratic development.
转会是一个任务型的机关，那我们任期到了，规划完成后，就移交将由这些部会共同来推动落实整个转型正义的工作。
One of the main goals for the office is to restore justice to people whose human rights were violated. That covers people affected during Taiwan's martial law era from 1949 to 1987 and beyond. The amendment doubles the compensation for families of people who died during the period to $400,000. The changes also make it possible to return confiscated property to the victims. Taiwan is becoming more accepting of its LGBTQ citizens. That's according to a report released by leading LGBTQ rights organization Taiwan Equality Campaign. The report marks Tuesday's International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia. A poll of 1,000 people in Taiwan found support for LGBTQ rights, such as same-sex couples adopting children, had increased. A clear majority also said they could accept their child coming out as gay. 59% of respondents this year, compared to just 49% in 2020. Our reporter Rick Glaurt spoke to Joyce Tang, Deputy Executive Director of the Taiwan Equality Campaign and a contributor to the report. He began by asking her what's behind the growing acceptance of sexual minorities in Taiwan.
I think passing the same-sex marriage law would be really important for Taiwan because during the process passing this law, we have lots of public debate about how can we accept LGBTQ in this society, or should we let same-sex couple get married? And eventually people can get married from 2019 in Taiwan. After that, around people's life, they can see same-sex couples wedding, they get together, and there are lots of LGBTQ families raising kids. I think those stories make people believe that nothing will be changed after the law was passed. That's the belief that LGBTQ's life are as normal as everybody else.
How have the lives of LGBTQ Taiwanese people changed in the last 3 or 4 years, say?
I think from our daily life, like I said, and this polling, we can see that more and more people they said that they know their friends or relatives are LGBTQ, so more and more people willing to come out. When we go to school and when we ask the same question about, do you know any LGBTQ in your life? And the children will point at each other and they can know, oh, she is a lesbian or he's a gay. And that student belonging to our community won't fear to admit that. He or she will say, yes, I am. I think for LGBTQ youth, when the whole society became more friendly, they will feel more and more comfortable and living in this society.
Could you give us a feel for how the fight for marriage equality in Asia is going and what role Taiwan is playing as a leader in this?
We've communicated with the other activists from different countries in Asia, and I think they start their journey with us and still fighting now. I think when Taiwan is the first country in Asia legalize same-sex marriage, there will be less excuse for the government to refuse or to say that LGBTQ is not belong to Asia, it's not our tradition, because we prove that we do live in Asia and live in Taiwan, but we still can pass same-sex marriage and it do become our daily life.
Taiwan is home to a unique mix of cuisines influenced by its indigenous Chinese and Japanese heritage. But how many people around the world have actually tried Taiwanese food? In a new TaiwanPlus original series called Jason's Table, Shocked and Surprised, international chef Jason Wong introduces us to some local specialties, and the results are shocking. Our reporter Jaime Yokon sat down with the show's host and started by asking him when his love of the culinary arts first started.
Well, when I was growing up, I've always loved food, and all day long I was just thinking about what can I have for lunch, what can I have for dinner. I am trained as a musician and as an educator for middle school and high school, but I went on a little show called MasterChef a couple years ago in the US, and it's for amateur home cooks, but that really launched my career in the food world and really getting to showcase something that I've always had a passion about. So it's been a really fun journey.
So talking about MasterChef, this little show, can you talk about that one dish, the spot prawn tempura?
I have had a lot of exposure in Taiwan due to one of the dishes that I made on MasterChef. It was a mystery box challenge, and there was a whole ton of different seafood items, and there was spot prawns and then gooey duck, 像拔蚌, but also iconic clams. So I made a 蛤蜊汤, which was very traditional influence from Taiwanese cuisine, and Gordon Ramsay absolutely loved it. And I think it just gave a lot of pride to folks in Taiwan, knowing that their traditional cuisine is something that could be put on such a large stage and really receive such high praise from the likes of Gordon Ramsay.
Absolutely, and Taiwan food kind of in its presence around the world. Can you kind of talk about what really separates Taiwanese food from the rest?
I think it's been so interesting for me that, Taiwan is not the largest country in the world by any stretch of the imagination, but its food influences and food culture has permeated across the globe. Bubble tea, beef noodle soup, scallion pancakes rolled with things, and just a whole host of interesting cultural foods that have made their way throughout into people's homes and into their hearts and into their taste buds. Taiwan's a really special place.
If you were to sum up Taiwanese food in maybe one word, I know that's extremely difficult, but Taiwanese food in one word to describe it, what would you use?
I think one word to summarize Taiwanese cuisine, I think it's a kaleidoscope. A kaleidoscope, because even the most small serving of a simple dish, there are so many layers of texture and flavor and ingredients and technique, even just in a dumpling, So I think whenever you eat Taiwanese cuisine, it's never going to be boring. Even just one bite is going to give you a full-on party kaleidoscopic effect in your mouth.
Team Taiwan has claimed 3 medals at the World School Sport Games, also known as the Gymnasiad, taking place in Normandy, France. Su Jingzhe won gold in the men's Taekwondo Pumse, or set patterns, event on Monday, while Chen Beiya took silver in the women's event. The Taiwan team, which competes under the name Chinese Taipei, also claimed gold in the Pumse pairs event. 135 students are representing Taiwan at the Games, the largest team the country has ever sent. A baby giraffe at the San Diego Zoo in California has been given life-saving treatment to correct a birth defect. Situni is a 3-month-old female calf. She was born with a bone disorder that makes it difficult to stand and walk. The zoo ordered a custom leg brace for her from the company that usually makes prosthetics for humans. The zoo says the brace is a success, and Situni can now walk and stand again. She has since been officially introduced to the rest of the herd at the zoo's safari park. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, today, we leave you with images of giant posters for the 75th Cannes Film Festival. The posters are a tribute to the 1998 film The Truman Show. I'm Erika Liu. Take care and see you next time.